Okay, so if you're in Toronto, you might have heard some buzz, maybe seen things online about recycling.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of confusion floating around.
Right, like something's changing with the blue bins, but it's maybe not super clear what. So that's what we're diving into today.
Exactly. We want to clear things up based on, the recent reports out there.
Our goal is really just to cut through that noise and tell you what's actually happening, especially since there's a big date coming up.
That's right. The key date is January 1st, 2026. From that day, the City of Toronto itself won't be handling the recycling collection for houses.
Houses and like apartment buildings too.
Yeah, single-family homes, multi-residential buildings, even schools and long-term care facilities. That collection is shifting.
Okay, so if the city isn't doing it, who is?
It's moving over to a nonprofit organization. They're called Circular Materials.
Circular Materials. Okay, they'll be the ones picking up the blue bins from all those places.
That's the plan, yes.
Yeah.
For residential and those specific institutions.
Which probably explains some of the confusion we've seen online. I saw posts, people asking things like, wait, do I need to take my recycling somewhere different now?
Totally understandable questions.
Yeah.
And some people are asking about these blue stickers that are starting to appear on bins.
Ah, yes, the stickers. We'll get to those. But first, the big immediate question. Does my recycling day change now? Do I need to do anything differently this week?
Nope. Absolutely nothing changes for you right now in terms of putting your bin out.
Phew. Okay.
Your regular curbside service just continues as it always has. Same day, same spot. You don't need to call Circular Materials or anything like that yet.
Good to know. Keep calm and recycle on for now.
Exactly. Put your bin out like normal.
Those stickers you mentioned, they are popping up, right? What's that about if nothing's changing immediately?
Right. So starting this spring, actually, it began around May 20th. In some areas, crews are putting stickers on the blue bins.
And these stickers have?
They have Circular Materials contact information on them.
So it's like a heads up for the future.
Precisely. Think of it as your future point of contact. So after January 1st, 2026, if, say, your collection gets missed, or you need a bin repair, or even just have a question about what goes in.
Then I call the number on the sticker, not 311 or the city?
Exactly. You'll contact Circular Materials directly for those residential recycling issues starting in 2026. The sticker is just getting that info out there early.
Makes sense. Prepare people for the switch. Is everyone getting these stickers at the same time?
No, it's rolling out. The first areas starting around May 20th were generally between Steeles and the lake and between Victoria Park and the Pickering border.
Okay, so parts of Scarborough and the East End first?
Yeah, roughly. If you're not in that zone, don't worry, your sticker will come later this year. The city actually has a schedule up on their website if you want to check your specific area.
Good tip. We should also clarify, though, this change isn't for all recycling everywhere in Toronto, is it?
That's a really important point. No, it isn't.
So who is the city still handling?
The City of Toronto will still be responsible for collecting recyclables from commercial locations.
Like businesses?
Businesses, yes, but also other institutions like charities, religious organizations, public agencies. Their recycling collection stays with the city.
Okay, so the circular materials shift is specifically for homes, apartments, schools, long-term care. Got it.
Right.
All right, so we've covered the what and the when. Let's get into the why. Why make this change? Why hand it over to circular materials?
Well, the stated goal from everyone involved, the city, Circular Materials, is really about boosting recycling rates.
Yeah.
And ultimately reducing the amount of stuff that ends up as waste.
Less landfill, more recycling. Sounds good.
And Circular Materials specifically talks about moving towards a circular economy.
The circular economy. We hear that term a lot. What does it mean in, practical terms for my yogurt container?
Good question. Basically, instead of the old take, make, dispose model, a circular economy tries to keep materials in use.
So recycle it and then what?
And then ideally, that plastic from your yogurt container gets turned back into something useful, maybe even new packaging, by the companies that make products. It's about closing the loop, less need for new raw materials, less waste generated.
Okay, so it's about creating a loop from materials, but was this Toronto's idea, or is there something bigger driving this?
It's definitely bigger. This whole transition is happening because of a regulation the Ontario government brought in back in 2021.
Provincial mandate.
Exactly. The regulation requires the entire blue box system across the province to shift to something called full extended producer responsibility. EPR.
EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility. Okay, let's unpack that one. Who are the producers here?
The producers are the companies, the ones actually making and selling the packaging, the paper, the plastic containers, all the stuff that ends up in our blue bins.
So like the soda companies, the cereal makers, the online retailers with their boxes.
Precisely. And EPR basically says, hey companies, you created this packaging, so you are now responsible for the cost and the process of recycling it.
Whoa. So the financial burden shifts away from the city and ultimately taxpayers and onto the companies.
That's the core idea. Full responsibility, financial and operational, rests with the producers.
Interesting. What are the supposed benefits of doing it that way? Why is that seen as better?
Well, groups like the Toronto Environmental Alliance point to a few key advantages. Firstly, if companies have to pay for recycling their own packaging.
They might try to make less packaging or make it easier to recycle.
Exactly. It gives them a direct financial incentive to, maybe use less material, design packaging that's actually recyclable in practice, not just theory.
And maybe use more recycled content themselves.
That's the hope. It could also potentially push them towards making products that last longer, because throwing things away and recycling them constantly costs them money under EPR.
So it encourages thinking about the whole life cycle right from the start.
Right. More cradle to cradle than cradle to grave.
Is Toronto or Ontario inventing this? Is this a brand new idea?
Oh, not at all. The reports mention that this EPR model is pretty common elsewhere.
Yeah.
Lots of countries in the European Union, Denmark, Belgium, Austria, are examples given have had systems like this for a while.
So it's tested.
Yeah, that's a well-established approach. And even closer to home, Windsor, Ontario actually started its transition to this system back in 2023.
Okay, so Toronto isn't the guinea pig here.
Definitely not. We're joining a system that's already in place in many jurisdictions.
Okay, so let's just try and sum this up for everyone listening. The main thing for you right now is keep putting your blue bin out as usual.
Absolutely. No changes to your routine yet.
But be aware that starting January 1st, 2026, a different organization, Circular Materials, will be handling the pickup for homes, apartments, schools, etc.
And if you see a sticker appear on your bin soon
Yeah.
that's got their contact info on it, you'll use that number for any issues after that 2026 date.
And this whole shift is driven by this provincial move to extended producer responsibility.
Making the companies that produce the packaging responsible for its recycling.
The big picture goal being, hopefully, less waste, more actual recycling, and maybe even smarter packaging design down the road.
Moving towards that circular idea, yeah. It's a fundamental shift in who holds responsibility.
Definitely. It makes you think, doesn't it? As you put your bin out this week, maybe ponder this. What other things in our lives could work differently if the companies making them were responsible for their entire life cycle?
Yeah, how might that change the products we buy, how they're designed, how long they last?
Food for thought, for sure. A different way of thinking about waste and consumption.